get them shackles off him. Poor sod can't eat proper.
Dunno, not sure I like that. What if he runs for it? He's worth a heap of coin.
Ah, bollocks. Been holding him a week, hasn't tried a thing. Why he up and bolt now? Matter of fact, got to thinking. What did a sweet, gentle chap like him do to get the Queen of Zerrikania so riled?
She's a shrew, that's what. Queen and witch in one. Worst of both worlds.
Enough about her. What do you say to one more of your tales? While we toss down some cards.
Ah, why not? And since you mentioned one queen...
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Gaming Channel. My name's AJ Gills. How y'all doing? We are back. Well, I guess not back. We are starting with Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales. This is the new game by CD Projekt Red. This is the single-player to Gwent the Witcher card game. It's well, this is paid. I believe Gwent the Witcher card game is still free, or the multiplayer is free. The story, it's really confusing to me. But I've played about 50 minutes of this, mostly because my first video got messed up. I don't know what was happening. My mic was like roboting and it sounded bad. So decided to re-record. So I have an idea of what we're doing so far. So we'll start a new game. We play as Queen. I believe it's pronounced Meve. She's the Queen of Lyria and oh my God, Rivia. There we go. So that's the basic concept. Everything's solved through Gwent. It's a new kind of Gwent. We took a look at this game I think a couple weeks ago from some released gameplay from CD Projekt. But let's I've yacked enough. We're gonna play on for players seeking a moderate challenge and an impactful story. There's always who want to sit back and relax, enjoy the story with the option to skip battles, and then there's Bonebreaker and put their skills to the test. But we'll play, and yeah, I'll just delete the one that I already had, and let's go. I mean, I have so far from what I've played, I've really found out that this game is a lot more about how you play cards rather than when you play cards. I mean, there were a bunch of cards had abilities in the first game, but the first one was about conserving your hands and strategically of when to play them, and it was really cool.
War hung in the air, its scent palpable. The mighty empire of Nilfgaard stood poised, greedily eyeing the northern realms just across the Yaruga. In light of the threat, the realm's sovereigns met in summit. They made declarations, pledged fraternal assistance, forged alliances, and then, in good spirits, dispersed. Among them, Meve, Queen of the Twin Realms Lyria and Rivia. Know the name? Heard her beauty extolled? Justly so. Remarkable she was. Not for her graceful exterior, but for her persistence and courage. Where was I? As the Queen and her retinue neared her capital, Count Caldwell appeared. In Meve's absence, the Count was to have helped her son, the youthful Prince Willem, run the Twin Kingdoms. Caldwell had clearly ridden hard. Drops of perspiration dangled from his whiskers, his neck red and chafed from a ruff, starched stiff.
All right, real quick before I keep going, I like the one. I love this art style, this kind of this hand drawn. It's really pretty. But what I was saying about the card battles, this is just so I don't forget this point, because I really like the way I made this point in my previous attempt. Is that, like I said, Gwent in The Witcher 3, and I think Gwent the Witcher card game is more about when you play the cards. In this one, it's more about how you play them, where you play them. There's a lot more emphasis on the card's abilities and how turns work. It's a lot more of it's a different system. I mean, they've cut the third row. At the very end of the gameplay that was released a couple of weeks ago, we got to see them fight like a manticore. This is done so I think these kind of monster battles work. These kind of special Gwent fights work. It's a really unique concept in this game. I really dig it. I think that's about it. All right. So basically, what I'm trying to get at, different from from base Gwent, but damn, it's still great.
Hail, Your Majesty. Delighted to see you in good health. The summit.
Stupid mouths.
Fruitfully, I hope.
Oh, and I also like how I don't have to read all this crap.
Yes, at its end, letters were exchanged, documents signed. Paper. Time will tell of what value. That will suffice as cordialities go, Caldwell. Tell me what's happened, for I sincerely doubt sheer longing prompted you to ride out.
Indeed, Your Grace. Another circumstance inspired me to do so. The strays of Sparla, the bandits, I was to tend to during Your Grace's absence. The situation's gotten out of hand, I fear.
So, uncle.
I deliberated. Wasn't at all certain in giving you the task. I knew you to be an equally good strategist as I am a shepherdess. So my intuition said no. Yet Reynard interceded on your behalf. Your Grace, they're common bandits, while the Count will have a host of men-at-arms to command. Next time, I shall trust my gut. All right, speak. What
Although we just...
happened? Be precise.
Although we just bitch slapped them.
As Your Grace ordained, I set out and was nipping at the bandits' tails for long. We pursued for weeks, until scouts returned, having sighted the strays' camp in the forest near Locheren. We waited for nightfall, to surprise them as they slept. Alas, it proved a ruse. We found the tents empty. Straw-stuffed dummies round the fire. Soon, we learned that as we waited for the sunset, the strays had snuck away, rounded our positions and ridden to Hawksburn.
I beg your pardon, my lord. The tax collectors. That is where they station.
So the gold? All of it?
It's stolen, Your Grace, but I shall do all in my power to recover it. This I vow, if it be Your Grace's wish.
After weeks in the saddle, Your Grace's wishes are modest. A hot bath and a night's sleep in her own bed. Yet, they shall have to wait. I must look personally to this matter. Your force, Caldwell, I will now command. You... send a herald to Hawksburn. They must prepare for the Queen's arrival. Air the rooms, dust off the porcelain. Make certain they do it. Do you see now, Reynard? I believe I foretold it would be thus. My son wasn't ready in the least to rule an entire country.
I confess, Prince Willem has much to learn yet.
Yes. And very little time.
Alright, sorry if you were hearing the fan in the background. I was running my AC. I turned it off. Welcome to the Thronebreaker tutorial. Before embarking in your gen, blah blah blah, big game mechanics. You can control the character using the left mouse button. Follow Cobblestone Road to reach the next stage in your journey. So again, as we saw in the preview, we can just run around freely. I still really... this is something they didn't need to put in this game. You expand your army throughout the game, but to do so, you must collect the following types of resources: gold, wood, and recruits. While on the road, you can find useful items and even new companions who will support you in battle. If you don't wish to miss anything, be sure to thoroughly explore the map and complete side quests. You know, as I was saying, I mean, I really like this... this world map. Again, the animations are... the art style are beautiful. I mean, it didn't have to be The Witcher.
Oh, thought it were bad.
But from everything I've seen of this game so far, it's very much The Witcher without being The Witcher. Basically, we're just collecting supplies. That's obviously, like I said, gold, wood, and recruits. Yeah, like I was saying, this is The Witcher. Like as I said, just without, being the third-person kind of action-adventure sort of game.
Milka. They stretched her over a fire till she told them where she buried her gold.
And where'd she bury her gold?
Rather die than tell him she would. But I know where she kept it. Sit tight. Sketch it out for you.
Congratulations, found treasure map, search for the area, blah, blah, blah. And what do you know? I know where this, know where it is. Haha. 260 gold. The first time I opened that, there was also a card in there that I can use in multiplayer. So actually playing the single player actually gives you access to, I assume, better cards in the multiplayer. I like this idea. An obstacle blocks your path. To remove it, you will need some to spend some of your resources. I really don't have an interest to play Gwent the Witcher card game. I think I played a little bit of it during the beta. Sorry. Moving my cat. I don't want him to knock over my capture card and screw this thing up a second. I don't want to redo this again. Your Majesty, it seems someone's felled an oak which now blocks the road. Unfortunately, our wagons cannot go around it. How do you wish to proceed? I'll lose the 25 gold to, pick up more wood. Most interactive objects are marked clearly on your map, but not all. Some events cannot be predicted, so you must be prepared for anything.
Count Caldwell rode at the column's head, scanning its flanks with a wary eye that, despite his advanced age, proved very sharp indeed.
Your Majesty! Bandits! There! At the tree line!
The Count's footmen, unaccustomed to escorting their queen, sought to shield her with their bodies and assumed a tight formation to do so. They were promptly knocked aside as Meve charged headlong at the bandits, brandishing her blade and bellowing a ferocious cry.
Attack! Charge!
Meve. Meve was convinced the bandits would flee into the cover of the forest. Upon realizing the grave mistake, after all, no ordinary bandit would dare attack the retinue of a queen. Yet the strays of Spala were of a different breed. They held nothing sacred. So we're facing these guys. I like their masks. God, that's weird. So there's a story battle, and unique cards will appear in this battle. Let's go. Maybe I should have hit click. So I should have read that during the load screen. Whatever. This is the battlefield. You will play your cards on the bottom half, and your opponent will play on the top. Units can be played on one of two rows, melee or range, but remember, the abilities of some cards may be different depending on the row you play them on. A standard battle can last up to 3 rounds. First to win 2 rounds wins the whole match. Players alternate their turns. During your turn, you can play only one card, but you can use any number of abilities. The player who goes first in the match is the same as who initiated the battle. In this case, you encountered an ambush, so your opponent will have the first turn. I like that way of deciding who goes when.
To attack the Queen? An outrage!
Okay, the strength of each unit plays to add. The army strength is basically the same as Gwent. The player who has the highest amount at the end wins the round. Some have armor, absorbs a certain amount of damage dealt to the unit.
Your Grace, the men await. You must lead to begin the attack.
As my cat jumps up right next to a glass of milk that I had sitting next to my mouse. Maybe crap my pants. Most cards have an ability of some kind. To learn more about it, select the card and read its short description. Additional information will appear if you right-click on the card. Yeah. Okay. So as we can see here, so they have deploy. So this triggers whenever it's played. So it'll move a unit to the row opposite this unit and damage them by 1. Okay. Let's start with the Arbalist. Actually, I wanna. What's this? So, okay, so the reach is 2. Damage any enemy number of this. Damage an enemy by the number of cards on this row. So actually, we'll wait to play the Arbalist and start with the
Salt of the earth, they are, Your Grace. They'd follow you into fire. You need simply say the word.
Scythemen have the loyal ability. This means that their other abilities are activated every time you use Meve's ability. Each leader has their own unique ability. To learn what it is, just select the leader. Meve's ability allows her to boost the unit's strength and add armor to it. She can use this ability once every few turns. To use Meve's ability, first select her, then select one of your units. So, okay, so Meve has boost an ally by 4, give it 1 armor. And round, obviously we select the Scytheman.
I shall teach you to respect the crown, you dogs!
And because he is loyal, when the leader ability is used, he also gets another 5. So that gives him a total of 16 and 1 armor. And armor isn't used for your total power, but whenever an enemy takes damage, boost self by 1. Okay.
If you insist.
Count Caldwell's ability allows him to summon from the deck copies of the cards that are adjacent to him. His ability is activated the moment he is played. So this is even where placing them left to right actually matters.
Look out! Seek cover! We are bombarded!
Right, so your opponent's card also have abilities. Be sure to read them carefully. Adapt your strategy accordingly. What's his... Oh, he has no ability. Okay, so we'll play the Lyrian Arbalist. And the Arbalist, because he has 3 cards, he'll do 3 damage.
Sound the horns! May they sing praises of this triumph for ages!
And that is a win. When you played all your cards, the end turn button will turn into the pass button. When you pass, you will not be able to perform any actions until the start of the next turn. To end the last turn of a round, press the coin icon. Press the coin button. Words are hard. The player whose army has the most strength points at the end of the round will win the round. In the event of a tie, both players will receive a victory point.
Battle's not yet done. It is better to conserve our strength. Prepare for a strike that will prove decisive.
At the beginning of the second and third rounds, each player draws 3 cards from their deck.
Battle formation! Protect the queen!
The player who won the previous round plays first, so we'll start with the Lyrian Scytheman. I should have played him in the back row now that I think about it. Oh well. Mostly because I say this because I want to test something. Oh, actually, I did exactly.
Give me a target.
Okay, so reach, okay. Sorry, I was trying to test something. So reach, when it said he has a reach of 2, so he can, since he's in the back row, he can only hit the front. What? Yeah, because they can't hit anything because of their... They can't hit anything because of their reach.
I'm a
Oh, so I have to hit my own dude? Well, that kind of sucks. There we go.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
You won 2 rounds in a row, which means you are the battle's victor. Congratulations.
You on your latest victory, Your Grace. The bandits stood not a chance.
Yay, we won. Aren't we great? The Lyrian Banner, permanent resilient. Okay, I tried to read that.
Matters seem indeed to have gotten out of hand, to put it mildly.
Neve said, arms crossed atop her shining breastplate.
They've grown bold. Doubtless after the raid on the manor, the tax collectors. I've not heard of an ambush on the high road afore.
Caldwell explained, avoiding his liege's wrathful gaze.
Enough, Caldwell. We must put things right. Come!
The Queen's retinue set out, cavalry in front, infantry and arbalists close behind, and, following in the rear, the bandits, bound in chains.
Alright, so might as well loot the battlefield. There we go.
I do adore this prospect.
Yes. Lyria, the Pearl of the North. With its hills and dales. Why, its beauty matched only by that of its queen.
Don't be a kiss-ass, Caldwell.
Saddle. I've my doubts, Count. We shall pitch camp here. Our soldiers need respite. A spell of it they deserve.
To survey your army, you must first pitch camp. Pitch camp. There we go. Camp buildings allow you to expand your army and give you access to important information. Excuse me. Most camp buildings can be improved in your workshop. These improvements will give you access to stronger units, thus earning your journey down the line. So let's go into the workshop first. And improve your camp buildings. First, collect the appropriate quantity of golden wood. For your journey, you'll definitely need to access a regional map, but to get it, you'll first need to improve your royal tents. There we go. Thanks to this improvement, you now have access to the regional map, which you can find in the main game screen. The workshop itself can also be improved, which is subsequent improvement. You will gain access to new, stronger units. And, okay. Head to the command tent. In the command tent, you can create units and build your army from the available cards. Improving the building will increase your army's recruit cap, allowing you to use stronger units. The cards currently in your deck are displayed on the left-hand side. All cards available for you to create and place in your deck are displayed on the main screen. You can gain access to new cards by upgrading your training grounds and workshop, as well as through certain story-related tasks. Grayed out cards are available but have not yet been created. You must first create them before you can include them in your deck. Your deck must contain a minimum of 25 cards, while not exceeding an army's recruit cap. Currently, your recruit cap sits at 125 points. To create new cards, you need a particular resource, recruits. You can gain recruits at conscription points, which are marked on the map with a helmet icon, as well as through certain story-related tasks. You've received additional resources to craft a Wagenberg card. Craft one now. Okay, where is that? That's... First time I played it, I spent about a minute clicking on this, trying to figure out why won't it work. Because it's a war wagon, not a Wagenberg. So it's an order. Damages all units on an enemy row by this units. Sorry, I finished halfway through that sentence. Through this unit's armor amount, then lose all armor, gain 1 armor whenever this card appears on this row. So this actually, I believe, would link well with Meave's ability. That's boom. Create one and add it to the army. Add the Wagenberg to the deck. There we go. We have Reynard Odo and Count Caldwell. There are 2, I believe, special cards. You can now view and create new cards or return to the main game screen and continue your journey. All right. Premium cards, all color, bronze and gold. Okay. Trophies, trinkets, and units. Okay, so I think you have 1 trophy, and it looks like you have 2 trinkets. For one, we have the Fortitude Potion, boosting it by 10, and we have the Lyrian Banner, which gives us resilience. Order, move to the other row. Okay, so I think that's about all we really need. I mean, the deck's now at full strength, or as strong as we can make it. You can now take a look at the other camp buildings, familiar yourself with their functions, or you can return to the main game and continue your journey. First, I want to check this place out. Okay, I can't increase that yet. Enable unit creation on the army building. That could be useful. This will give us, provides access to training crowns. Enables you to recruit new combat units in the command tent. Arbalist Plus, Regiment Drummer. The Rivian Pikeman. Cool. Gain 1 recruit after every battle. Gain between... Ooh, man, some of these aren't bad. I don't have enough... Yeah, I don't have enough gold for this one. Increases movement on the map. Speed enables the creation of other units. Again, cool. That's 1,000, but we don't have enough wood. So we can boost the increased number of trinkets Meave can equip by 3. Okay, we can take that, or We'll take the watchtower. Can we not? Oh, we need training grounds first. Okay. I guess let's build that watchtower, seeing that we can. And here. Royal Tent UV letters and maps you've received so far, as well as key and card fragments. The Royal Tent screen can also be accessed from the main game screen by pressing the knapsack item icon. Words are hard. Your Highness, artisans from Grabador have prepared a new tapestry pattern for the throne room. I've included an engraving of the design. You will be pleased to know it. You will be pleased with it, I hope. A Cintran lion inherited from King Coram I. Bared fangs offer stunning realism, and the ancestral sword of the Delane of Temeria, I hope that's correct, appears as if forged in the very depths of Mahakam. I've no doubt it shall prove the castle's latest masterpiece. We eagerly await your return, milady. Gustav Perrault, Royal Steward. Dear me, you've my gratitude for attending the summit. What luck we did not put off meeting any longer. From what my men say, armies on the march are kicking up a veritable dust storm across the Yaruga. Come what may, remember you have my full and unconditional support. Best wishes, Demavend. Noted increase Nilfgaardian activity in foothills of Amel Mountain and near Reedbrunn. Ambassadors claims routine training exercises, number of troops, quality of equipment indicate otherwise. Recommend strengthening border forces and tripling patrols along the Yaruga. Strays of Spala, bandit group formed after the revolt in dungeons of Spala Castle. Mainly pickpockets, racketeers, cut purses, assassins armed with slings, daggers, instruments of torture stolen from Spala, headman's axes, saws, hammers. Cleverer and bolder than common bandits, attack heavily armored convoys, noblemen's mansions, unable to determine the identity of the group's leader. So far, from what time period, in the Witcher lore, this takes place? This takes place during the books. This is before any of the Witcher games that we know of. At least that's what I'm like 90% sure of that. Don't quote me. I know chunks of the Witcher lore because I believe it was Meve who actually dubs Geralt Sir Geralt of Rivia. But again, it's as much as likely as I am to be right, I am also likely to be wrong. So if you know the Witcher lore better than I do, please feel free and tell me that I'm a moron. You can talk with your companions in the mess tent. Please be gentle, though. I'm sad. Give them a little bit of your time, and you may learn a secret or two. This guy is just a stats person. He looks cool. They should make the stats guy not that cool looking.
A bit of respite, Reynard.
Yes. But if you've any new orders, Your Grace, I can be ready at any...
I keep forgetting I have to click to move dialogue.
At ease, Reynard. At ease. Don't you find it wearisome sitting alone? Wouldn't you prefer another's company? Swapping tales with the innkeep, even?
Your concern, I most appreciate, Your Grace. But I prefer silence.
Has it always been thus with you? Ever a man apart?
Quite the contrary, Your Grace. As a youth, I gloried in company, delighted in conversation.
So what was it that changed you?
That delight nearly cost me my head. But do you truly not know the tale, milady? How I came to be your departed husband's aide?
I don't, but would gladly hear it.
I had but 20 winters behind me when I enlisted. Yet I was granted the rank of lieutenant from the start, not by merit, but by birth. The respect of veteran officers, both my peers and seniors, that they could not grant, nor did I deserve it. To earn that respect became my driving aim, and to seem wise beyond my years, I began spouting off about the king's decisions. This maneuver Reginald botched, that he failed to think through, and yet elsewhere he'd blundered like a schoolboy.
Well, a brilliant strategist Reginald was not. They dubbed him the courageous, not the cunning, for good reason, I dare say.
It was not long before I was clanking about in shackles. Another officer had reported me. I was charged with lèse-majesté. The court-martial took but a quarter of an hour to deliver verdict and sentence. I was guilty of treason, and the noose awaited me. But Reginald first stayed the execution, then ordered that I repeat every word I'd uttered about his person or deeds. Soaked with sweat, my voice cracking, I did as he ordained. Reginald listened, raptly and silently, and when I'd finished, he declared I was right. He then appointed me his personal aide. A clever lad like you, I can always use at my side.
Indeed. Though hardly sharp himself, wisdom in others Reginald both recognized and heeded.
It was then I swore two things. Firstly, never again to wag my tongue like a fool. Secondly, never to betray his trust.
And you never did. Know what he told me moments before he passed? Trust none of them, Meave. Save Reynard. The old sod was right about that, at least. I thank you for sharing that tale, Reynard. Truly.
So basically what we found out about Reynard is he's kind of stoic, but he's also an extremely loyal companion, and he's, you know, always going to watch out for Maeve.
Alas.
We can always trust him.
I've come to fear Willem might simply not be cut out to be a king, let alone a good one.
A harsh judgment, Your Grace. Let's not be hasty. The prince is but 16 summers to him.
And is thus fully grown. The crown he should be able to bear at his age.
Yeah, he should be able to rule two kingdoms at the age of 16. Yeah.
Yet I left the land in his care for but a few months, and look what's become of it. Bandits roam and loot unchecked.
Granted, this was an age where you died at 40, but let's leave that alone.
We might yet learn of mitigating circumstances, events beyond his control.
Would that it were so, Reynard. Would that it were so. Elsewise, we must hope Ancaeus will demonstrate more wit than his brother. Though I see little chance of that either. It's time I attended to other matters.
Alright, well, we spoke to him, got all that. Well, let's head back out to the world map. Remember that you can open your map by checking the compass rose icon left side of the screen. Let's open that then. Your primary task is marked with an exclamation point. To see what awaits you, scroll through the map. Oh, so okay, so we can pay to see what's around. Oh, that's cool. Primary task is marked with an exclamation point to see. See, I didn't think I'd have to pay to scout the area. That's interesting. All right, let's go.
Is this what I pay taxes for? To be robbed along the high road, and in broad daylight, no less? Were it not for mandatory merchant routes and stacking rights, why, I'd have gone round through Sodden.
Okay. I don't know what to tell you, my dude. Your army's morale can change. Neutral morale has no impact on your cards, whereas low morale lowers each unit's strength by 1 point. High morale increases by 1 point. The army's current level of morale is displayed by an icon at the upper left corner of the screen. Changes in morale depend on your choices throughout the game. To increase it, make an offering at a wayside shrine, but remember, after victorious battles, morale returns to neutral, so you must always keep an eye on it. Okay, so let's put ourselves into high morale.
Gods of mercy! Whatever is this filth?
Necrophages. Drawn here by blood's scent.
For such vile monstrosities to prowl the high roads of my realm. I won't allow it! Attack!
What, are ghouls just not that common? A trophy is a unique type of card that you can only have one of in your deck at a time. The trophy will automatically appear on the battlefield at the beginning of the match.
Fog in broad daylight, with the heat positively sweltering. Have we to do with some manner of sorcery?
We shouldn't exclude the possibility, my lord. And great caution we must exercise.
Your rows are now covered in fog, which is just one of the several row effects you will encounter. Row effects affect all cards on a given row and can have either positive or negative consequences. Later on, you will also gain access to cards and allow you to add similar row effects. Okay.
Raymond, what is this? Some spectre? A strigger?
I can't be sure, Your Grace. It's the first I've seen of any such... thing.
Yeah, they're foglets. Annoying little bastards.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
These carrion eaters. I know them. Appeared on my estate last spring, enticed by the corpses of those of my sheep that fell. Harmless at first. Until, that is, they fill their guts. Seemed to become quite powerful then.
Okay, so at the start of my turn, boost the strength, and that's because the penetrating fog hurt us. I like this breakdown of cards, but I kind of wish that I could see what penetrating fog. So every turn he'll drop to. Oh, we can't use the Arbalist. Actually, let's hold off on Meeb's ability.
Fearsome they look, true.
And another
They bleed
foglet.
just as we do. Onward! Slay the filth!
Give me a time.
And we pass and win.
Fortunate we routed the beasts before they had a chance to gorge.
So basically from that, like, the necrophages are going to be stronger this turn because we have more cards in the graveyard. The trophy will stay on the battlefield between rounds because that's the resilience ability. Okay, so our move, and we'll start with Scytheman.
Time to sow and time to die.
A little depressing, but okay.
Your Grace, yet more come.
They fill their bellies, ma'am. This doesn't bode well. Oh no, not well at all.
Arbalist at your command.
Curses. Strong as steers they've grown. And they show no fear.
Frenzied, my lady. It's bloodlust. They lose all instinct to survive, feel no pain whatever. I've witnessed this before.
Your Majesty, we must give ground. Fall back. We can't win. Must minimize our losses.
Just like Meeb, each enemy leader has a unique ability. Using its ability, the enemy leader destroyed your strongest unit and threw it to its necrophages as feed, which has made it much stronger.
My queen,
See,
there is no shame in ceding the field when fortunes turn sour.
I love how it's a normal ghoul leading, and there's an owl ghoul out here on the field. If a round isn't going your way, it might be best to pass your turn and save your strength for next. But remember, you can pass only at the beginning of your turn before you play anything. So, obviously, we're in scripted battles. We're not in anything that involves any actual strategy. You know, we'll get into that stuff later. Remember, losing just one round does not mean defeat. To win the battle, you must gain 2 victory points.
Victory must be ours now. We shall not retreat. Arms at the ready. Attack!
Okay.
Look there! Yet another abomination.
Ugh, that stench. My salts. Where are my salts?
Alright, successfully command your enemy. You should understand the synergies between your cards. To get things started, play Wagenberg in the melee row. This ability of this card becomes more powerful with each additional unit that is played in the same row after it. Alright. Cards that have the order ability can be activated manually at any time you choose during your turn, but only after enough time has passed. Since placing it on the battlefield, the icon at the bottom of the card will indicate when the ability is ready to use. During your turn, you can activate any number of cards that have the order ability. Most can only be used once, but the order ability of some cards can be activated multiple times in a battle. See, and this is like I said this is what I said at the very beginning. It's not necessarily about when you use a card. I think it's more about how you use them. Now, obviously, when to use a card is important. Like this one, it's better to play it earlier than some of the other stuff in my hand, because these guys have armor, and that this thing's ability does more damage when armor is applied to cards. But what I'm saying is, it's still when to play them is important, but how you play them, I think, is the big part of it. And gonna strengthen itself. Play an Arbalest with the melee row in order to take advantage of Wagenberg's ability, which adds 1 armor point to the unit.
Armor won't say.
See, but wouldn't it be better to give something boost an ally by 4 and give it +1 armor? Because, yeah, it's going to lose all the armor, but, yeah, whatever. Oh, I thought it dealt... Oh, by these units' armor. Okay, I misread the card. I thought it was going to do compared to the armor of all the way across the row. I'm done. Reynard's ability allows you to reactivate units whose order ability has already been used. And as a result, you can use Wagenberg's ability again. Play Reynard on the melee row.
We must trust each other.
Wagenberg can now be used again with its ability. What's his do? Give 1 charge to all units depleted order. Okay. Okay, so it's telling me again to use the... Your opponent's run out of cards and you have a sizable advantage. Your victory is assured, so you can either pass your turn or play your Glorious Triumph. Well, obviously, we're going to play out our Glorious Triumph. Oh, that's right, I can't use its ability. I'm dumb.
The beasts hadn't a chance against us. Victory is ours.
Yeah. Play random ally for the grave. That's the field medic. And gold. And wood. My beloved, please write as soon as you reach the temple. I know only 2 weeks have passed, but my heart weighs heavy with thoughts of you. Our home feels empty without you. I hope our offering, though modest, will please the Mother Goddess. With her blessing, we still have a child at long last. I have no doubt you'll make as loving a father as husband. Please be vigilant and return to me soon. Forever yours, Frilke. Frilke? I don't freaking know anymore. Let's go up here and scout a little bit. Cause yeah, gonna collect all the wood. I'll hold the mouse button so you don't have to hear me click incessantly. Discovering signposts incessantly. I don't think it's the right word there. Discovering signposts unlocks the ability to fast travel. So again, just like The Witcher. I found just walking around this town, just stealing.
They're where? Have you seen them?
Just stealing all those people's stuff.
Your Majesty, I beg of you, thrash them bandits, please. Scared to step out into me own fields, I am.
Will do, sir. Will do. Pick up some units.
Soon, Queen and retinue arrived at Hawksburn. The men stationed there they found standing at attention, baking under the blistering noonday sun.
Your Majesty, Count Caldwell.
Stand at ease, Sergeant, and report.
The local peasants we've rounded up in the yard, Your Grace. Expect they might have lent the bandits aid. Yet our courtesy hadn't inspired them. They haven't peeped a word. Might it please Your Grace to summon the hangman? He ties a noose for them, should have them jabbering right quick.
I'll speak to them first.
Your Majesty, for the Queen to question commoners, why, it's simply not proper.
Eh, shut up, Caldwell.
I shan't be stripped of crown and titles for it, so no impediment do I see. Lead me to them.
I'm not gonna listen to somebody who was that. I don't know what that stupid thing. I think it's called a stiff, was what it was called earlier. But I'm not gonna listen to anyone who wears that crap.
Her Majesty, Queen Meve of Lyria and Rivia.
Yeah, shut up.
Have mercy, Your Grace. We bear no guilt, we simple folk.
Calm your hearts. Yeah, I'm not just gonna start screaming at them and threatening them.
Though your queen I may be, you are subjects, not slaves.
Meve extended a hand, the royal ring gleaming upon it. Unfamiliar with protocol, a pleb gripped it firmly and gave it a shake as hearty as a good scrub in the tub.
My, we shall be addressing one another by name afore long.
This is an outrage! Guards! Grab him!
I've all in hand, Caldwell.
Forgive me, Your Grace. I'm not accustomed, nohow.
Nonsense. You've a firm grip, a spry handshake, and a bold spirit I can respect. What do they call you, man?
Helmer, son of Florence.
Delighted, Helmer. Now understand me, man. I am in dire straits and in need of your aid. So please, answer my queries in full and forthrightly. The bandits, whom do they follow?
Him, milady. We seen him. No name, just an odd title. The Duke of Dogs, they call him.
My, a blue-blood thoroughbred mutt. Where are he and his hounds bound? Did he say?
That recall, Imogen? What do you name? A Gleeton or something?
Clayton. Lord Clayton. His estate lies to the south.
Sound the horns. Have the men form up. We march at once.
Milady, I'll be no higher for the Duke. He's a good man. Gave us proper brass for the welcome we gave him. Shared what grub he had.
Shut it, louts. The Queen's had her say.
I hate the mouths.
What are we to do with them?
Choices you'll make, yeah, there's always consequences to your decisions. Whip some sense into them, leave them be. Press the men in service. Not, I mean, really, what do you want me to do? They're just a bunch of farmers.
Leave them be. The harvest draws close. Hard work. They'll have their hands full.
Oh, milady, thanks be to you, thanks be. I pray Mother Melitele watch over your kind heart.
Pray she watches over yours. Should I hear of you...
Our morale dropped because of that.
Of you lying to my officers, I shall return and put torch to every hut, field and orchard. Understood.
Meve set off toward Lord Clayton's estate at a gallop, her mount knocking the peasants aside as it kicked up a cloud of dust.
That's just rude.
The folk of Hawksburn spoke of the royal visit long after, albeit ever behind closed doors and in hushed tones.
All right, well, guys, I think that's gonna about do it for this one. Oh, that's a treasure chest. How do I get up there? Probably have to go, probably here and out and around, because I want it. Either way, like I was saying, I'm beat, guys. I gotta grab some shut-eye so I can get up in the morning and well, keep doing this. So thanks for watching. Facebook, Twitter, the website, Minds.com. Links, all that stuff is down in the description below. Like, comment, you're not already. Please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more next time. Tell me what you think down in the comments. And until then, my name's AJ Gels, the Something Game Channel. I'm out.